What is up, YouTube? So today I'm going to explain my budgeting sheet with you guys. I did get a request to kind of break it down. I know that looking at it, it's pretty comprehensive, and unless you're familiar with budgeting, you may find no use in some of these spreads, but I hope after this video it gives you guys a better idea of what you can use with the spreads. If you haven't already, or if it's your first time here, my name is Brianna. My brand is Modern Twines, and I do digital bullet journaling as well as personal physical bullet journaling for myself. I do have an Etsy shop where I sell these digital bullet journals for you to have as well. There are different themes, and then there are also simpler bullet journal themes. I'm just gonna kind of break this spread down so that it's easier for you guys to understand, and if you have any questions, definitely leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them as quick as possible. But if you want to see how I break down this spread, then just keep on watching. For me, budgeting is like a huge aspect for my bullet journal. It is one of the things I like to focus on. I used to do it physically, but now that I have a digital bullet journal, I actually don't have really anything budgeting wise in my bullet journal. The only thing I have is a bill tracker, but that's it. Like, because I have it all digitally and I've experienced filling it in and doing it digitally, I really don't even want to do it physically just because it takes up so much time. In my previous video where I show you my February setup, I showed how the use of copying and pasting comes really handy. Everything is just a lot quicker with that feature. Here in this top left section is pretty self-explanatory. We have our income where you would list the date and whoever's income, if you are with a spouse or not. Unless you're like us where we get paid weekly, you may only need these top two lines. For me, I also like to keep track of unexpected incomes as well as Etsy incomes. For me, I consider Etsy an unexpected income because depending on how sales go, I really don't know if I'll have an income for the week or if I won't. And here I write the amount that I'm budgeting for each week, and then what we actually get, obviously, and then total it up, and this is just what I expect for the month. And I'm just gonna go down the column. So here are variable expenses. Variable expenses are, you can think of it like your weekly expenses: groceries, gas, eating out, home, something that you know that you're gonna be spending money on weekly. That is what variable expenses here. On the left side, I have these amounts as what I expect to spend for the month, and I did not add a total. So if you saw my February setup, so sorry, that was probably very annoying, but let's quickly add this total. Okay, so $960 for the month. And then I also have an unexpected section here. Sometimes we have expenses that we did not plan for, we did not expect. Sometimes spending gets out of hand and it doesn't have a category, but this is variable expenses. Under that, we have a debt section. If you have any debt, you're going to want to list them here. Then in this side right here, we have a list of our bills, and then we have the amount that I'm budgeting for, what I expect to pay for the month, and then I'll fill in what actually happens. When I'm able to put money aside before a bill is taken out, what I do is I just grab the amount and put it right here. For me, this tells me that I have put money aside for this bill. And then when the bill actually gets taken out, I will grab the highlighter and whatever color I have for bills, and I will cross it out. What this tells me is that the bill has been paid for and it left my bank account. And that is how I keep track of bills on this sheet. I hope that makes sense. On the bottom here, this is something that I added. I showed how I did that in my February setup. I am doing cash envelopes if you aren't aware, and I do have a few videos up by the time this one goes up. Yeah, I do have a few videos up. I actually just uploaded one on Tuesday, so if you haven't checked that out, be sure to go check it out. But I am doing cash envelopes. Here, sinking funds, if you're not familiar, they're just kind of like these envelopes where you save up towards something. These are amounts that I expect to pay towards these sinking funds every month. And then on this right side, we have these columns and these weeks broken down. So this coincides with variable expenses. I like to track it weekly. So we have week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, groceries, gas, dining, home. I break it up into 4 weeks. It's just an easier way to focus on each week and keep track of that. On top here, I changed it up. What I did before was I put these variable expenses up here and just kind of kept track of us staying within budget. If the highlighted section went all the way past like week 4, then I know that we are spending over budget. If it stays within their week, then we're spending within budget. But I decided to use it for our sinking funds because I wasn't really using it for the purpose that I had it. This is just an easier way for me to reference it for the week when it is time to fill in our sinking funds and just cross it off when the sinking fund is filled in. And then here for savings, this is just whatever money is left over, or if we have any money that we didn't spend on variable expenses, I'll put that directly to the savings. It won't roll over into the next week. And that is basically how I use this budgeting spread. Obviously, you can do whatever fits you. So this is what the budgeting sheet looks like when it's blank. This bills section goes all the way to the bottom. That is basically how to use the budgeting spread. Now I will show you guys what finance trackers I have in here. So we have a bill tracker and a utility bill tracker. For the bill tracker, it's pretty easy. You're going to want to list your bills, the amount, and then you mark it off when you pay it for the month. And then over here, this is just a cool way to kind of track the behavior of your utility bill. Next, we have a debt tracker. This is just a really easy way to kind of keep track of debt. And then we have a savings tracker. I decided to turn this into my sinking funds tracker as well. We have each sinking fund, but that is all the finance trackers I have. What I like about bullet journaling is if you have more savings or things that you want to put money towards, you can duplicate the tracker so that you have all the space. You don't have to erase or decide which one is most important. You can just duplicate it and have another one. The tabs are still functional. I hope this video was helpful if you do have my bullet journal and you are kind of struggling with the budgeting spread. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. You can reach out to me here on YouTube, on Instagram and TikTok, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you want to purchase this bullet journal, it is listed down below. I don't think I have anything else to say. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. It really means a lot to me. If you haven't already, please subscribe because that would mean so much to me. If you want to keep up with me elsewhere, I am on TikTok and Instagram at Modern Twines. Thanks so much for tuning into this video, and I will see you in my next one.